whether you hate me or you love me, everyone's still tapping in. You can still not like me, but you're still giving me the view, so keep on, you know what I mean? That's the part. And I'll be honest with you, on this video, you might get a couple, if you don't like me, then cool, right? But stay in your own lane and do whatever you're doing. It's like, I'm doing my thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I don't mind if you're leaving the odd comment here, but when you're saying some madness online, make sure you're on it in real life. And if you're not saying that, but you still don't like me, you're still trying to take the mick, then stay over there. You know what I mean? I'm not bothering you, so why bother me? I've never really thought, right, I'm the best, I can do this or whatever, but I've always wrote bars, I've just never done it. So it was like, go on, get on, jump on something, right? And then I ended up doing it. It sounds knackered, I'll be honest with you, right? But it was my first tune, and I posted it, my dad shared it and everything. It's on like 5,000 views or something now. I was like, wow. And then after that, I dropped another. The second one was in my kitchen. It was like, yeah, I want to do it. When you start out, it's not going to be the best, you know what I mean? Your first 10 tracks or whatever, not going to be your most famous if you actually do blow, right? But then if you're leveling up every time you drop, you set yourself some goals and you tick them off, that's when you're doing well with yourself, you know what I mean? So I'd say just go for it. If that's what you want to do, you do it, you know what I mean? Don't let anybody hold you back, let people talk. If they think it's rubbish, let them say that, you know what I mean? Because in reality, your first one's not going to be amazing, is it? And it's one of them. If I'm staying on the right track, God willing, I'll go somewhere with it, you know what I mean?
To the gang and then kid into the family. General in the booth, you can't call me no wannabe. Really leveling up every time that I drop. I ain't sharing no space like I'm using hot.
Hey and welcome back to IE Media. This is episode 25. Today I'm joined by a young and upcoming artist by the name of KJTHAKID. He's here to talk about his journey and his vision for the future with the music. So yeah, thanks for coming onto the show, mate. How's it going?
It's good, yeah. Big respect for having me. I appreciate it.
So, do you want to start by telling people like what you do and who KJTHAKID is?
Alright, so I'm a young up and coming rapper from Bolton. Obviously, I've been around it from a young age, and it's like always what I've wanted to do. Obviously, each time I'm dropping, I'm trying to make, you know what I mean, level up a step, if you get me. But yeah, the ultimate goal is just to go far with it, if you get what I mean. I've got time still, but yeah.
Yeah, I've been listening to your music and you're definitely progressing pretty well. You can hear it from, like, you go back through the catalogue of your tracks on Spotify and each one is a progression. Yeah, so man. You've definitely got something. Yeah. So what sort of developed your interest into the rap scene? So
obviously my dad, he's an MC, he's been doing it for a while. And then coming up around it, you know what I mean? Whether it's club one and my nan's cleaning in the house, or it's just like, just hearing it on the radio, or when I had my phone, and then I, you know what I mean, scrolling online or whatever. But like, when I fully started, obviously I'm still young, but when I fully started like getting interested into it, I was seeing like the big artists and everything. I'd be scrolling on TikTok, YouTube, whatever. It's took an interest, you know what I mean? I thought, you know what, I want that lifestyle. I want to be like them. Not looking up to anyone and like impersonating or wanting to be like them, but like, you know what I mean? I like the lifestyle and I want to do it, and you know what I mean? Yeah. And you're doing it, aren't you? Absolutely. So like, what sort of music for the audience who maybe doesn't know? So it varies really. So but it is really kind of all the same niche even. But like storytelling, hip hop, yeah, that's more. But like Detroit as well, if you get me. So fast paced, and then I can go storytelling. It depends what mood I'm feeling when I'm in the studio. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff myself because it you're kind of like painting a picture, right? For people who are listening and stuff. Yeah, which is really good. And yeah, big ups on the work that you've done so far with the music videos as well. They look looking fresh. That's it. So how old was you when you first realised that you could do this? Could do it. I've never really, you know what I mean? Because it seems a bit up your own, you know what I mean? But I've never really thought, right, I'm the best, I can do this or whatever. But like when I knew I wanted to do it, I was like 13. I met Bugzy Malone in Manchester, right? And nice. It was like again, I've always been around my dad and he's been doing it, so I've always come up around music. But I met him, and then I was chilling with a couple of my mates at the time, Lewis and Pedro, and then we was in his room, and Pedro was already doing music, you know what I'm saying? So then he was like, I've always wrote bars, I've just never done it. So he was like, go on, get on, jump on something, right? And then I ended up doing it, just some Trins beat off YouTube. Didn't even know it could get copyrighted. I don't sue me if you're watching, right? But obviously, I've done it, And then it sounds knackered, I'll be honest with you, right? But it was my first tune, and I posted it. My dad shared it and everything. It's on like 5,000 views or something now. I was like, wow. And then after that, I dropped another. The second one was in my kitchen. And it was like, yeah, I want to do it. So I was like 12, 13, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
No way. That is really good.
Yeah.
Now, what about like school and stuff?
For me, it's never really been my thing. You know what I mean? Like when I think since I've came out of it, I've calmed down a lot. You know what I mean? Because when I was in it, I get distracted. I wouldn't listen to if I didn't want to do it, I wouldn't do it. Simple as. You can't push me to do something. If you put me in isolation, it don't matter. I just didn't really like the whole system and how it all works. You know what I mean? It's just the sheep. You're learning the same thing over and over again. It's the same people who've learned 20 years ago. You know what I mean? And you're sticking. You know what I mean? We're all evolving. We're not staying as 1980. And it's like, I don't know. It's the teaching the same thing and I don't like it. And they punish you for mistakes. Are you going to get far if you're getting punished? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. No, I completely agree with you because I think that's what's wrong with the education system. And I think that if they focused on what yous were good at, do you know what I mean? And put all that effort and energy into that, then you're just going to progress beyond all levels. And so, you know, fair play to you. So you're doing some like homeschooling, is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment. Yeah, homeschooling.
Yeah. How's that going?
Find it better than being in actual school, but it's still. I just don't like the system. Full stop. You know what I mean? I don't like doing work. I don't like doing that. But you know what I mean? Gotta do what you gotta do, man. But it's better than sitting in a class and you just listening to this random guy natter on about what you've got to do today. You know what I mean? It's more chilled and laid back.
I completely understand because I remember when I was back in school, and if it's something I'm not interested in, I'm just daydreaming. Yeah, just thinking about my own stuff, and so I completely get it.
Yeah,
I suppose some people would say you live in the dream then.
Well, you know.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You must have other lads like your age who are like, oh, I wish I could do that.
Yeah, well, there's that part, like, because some people, they don't know my age. Obviously, I don't give it out. If you know me and you're from where I'm from and I grew up with you know my age, right? But it's like one of them. So if you don't know me and you just know my music, then I'm not really part of giving it out. But I don't know. They like, they find it better, you know what I mean? They say they want to. I wouldn't say nobody's gone like, oh, I wish I was like you, I wish I've got this, but they say you're lucky, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's more, like I said, it's more laid back, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and your dad's been pretty pivotal and he's supporting you and stuff.
Of course, he does it with everything. Robbie MC in the building.
Yeah, Robbie MC. He's actually been on a podcast twice, so go and check that out and you'll probably see why K is the way he is. He's been inspired from a young age and he's doing it, so there's nothing much more you can want from that.
That's it.
Proud father-son moments. Definitely. So just getting back to like your music stuff, what sort of topics do you cover and like to write about?
So my home when I was younger, what I'm doing now, decisions going down this path or that path, struggles, you know what I mean? Whether I don't know if I'm out on the streets or I'm in home writing, but at home writing bars, it's different, you know what I mean? All different terms of life, or like, so that goes back to the storytelling aspects, you know what I mean? So, but then one day I could be on an arguing with everybody and just start, you know what I mean, going off at everyone, and it's like, it's different, like, it's different moods, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Every track's different.
Yeah, pretty much.
Each one tells its own story.
Beats, I'd say, for my last recent ones, they've been the same, but like, I'm not rapping the same stuff, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's different. But with this next one, I put a trailer out on TikTok, Instagram, whatever. All right, that's completely different. That's what I'm going to start being like. And that, I think that one will do well.
Yeah. And like I was saying earlier, I was listening to your tracks in the car coming up to get you guys. And you can definitely hear the progression, and not just with you and your lyrics and stuff, but how you're layering the vocals.
Yeah.
And your understanding of being a recording artist, because what I've noticed, like being into a bit of producing last decade or two, is there's people that can perform live, and then there's recording artists, and it's a whole nother level for people to record and understand that the layers that are needed and certain bits with like where your effects and your reverb tails off, and you knowing 100%. Where to stop and put the pauses, and I can definitely hear it, mate. So
it's one of them, innit? It's like. And I'm glad you can see it, you know what I mean? Because like I said, the first one I dropped, the KJ, I just thought, my name's, I call myself KJ the Kid. This is the KJ way, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I rapped a bit, I got a bit deep in it. But obviously I was still young, I was squeaking. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm a fully developed man now, but like,
no,
yeah, it's like, and you see it, and then it was straight rhythms. The bars in that, if I chose a better beat, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I think that would have gone a bit further. And then the one after, was it Dollar? Yeah, and then Manifestation, and then Born for This, and then Destination, and then it's going on. And then the last two, I think, that I've dropped, they've been like a change, you know what I mean? And then this one will be a change. It's like, it's just in my mind, like every time, I can't be average with it, because if I'm rapping the same thing that I rapped last time, then what? It's boring, innit? Yeah. I'm sharing it, they'll hear the first 10 seconds, but like, he's done that last time, right? So it's like, I've got to change it up every time, right? And I can't be the same as these other rappers in Bolton, because if they like that person's music and then they hear mine, it's just like, oh, he's just, it sounds the same, you know what I mean? I just go back to that guy. It's one of them.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's what will give it its uniqueness as well. It's like, because it's your own journey, isn't it? It's your own story.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm really made up to even have you on here and document your story, because I see big things in the future.
Yeah,
I can see the vision that you're on and you're determined.
Yeah.
And you can only progress from this point forward.
100%, man.
Definitely get you back here in the future as well.
100%. I won't forget.
You might be like, yo, delete that now. Nah. Grown up with it.
Humble beginnings, man.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's good to document your journey early on.
That's what it is.
Proud to have you here, mate, definitely. Yeah. So how do you promote yourself as a young artist?
So, obviously, it's kind of cliche, but you've got obviously the bang average social media. You've actually got Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram. You know what I mean? It's like with Snapchat, I've got a lot of people on it, right? So all different people from all over the UK, right? It's used for messaging, innit? But it's like I know I can connect myself on that with someone from Germany, right? And it's like I share that and now I'm in Germany, you know what I mean? And it's like if I share that to someone in London, I'm in London now, you know what I mean? All I need to say, please can you share it for me, you know what I mean? Not like it's so simple to get around, and like on TikTok that's easier to get views and everything, but it still does well with it. Like I think one of them's on 800, the one I dropped the other day, likes, right? And it's like that's good, because TikTok, you're with the algorithm more, you know what I mean? You're getting noticed more. But it's like on Instagram as well, promoting yourself is more, I'd say, word of mouth and speaking to people, saying, can you share this? Because my mate's going to know someone that I don't know, and then now he's going to know me, and then he can tell his mate. You know what I mean? It's like one of them, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yeah. No, that's really good. And I know that it's not free, is it? So when you sort of like buying rights for tracks, and you got to pay for mastering and publishing and everything like that, and you're only young, so how do you do it, man?
Obviously, help from my dad and my nan, but when you've already booked the studio session and the night before you're like, oh, I'll just get a takeaway, it'll be all right, I'll sort something out tomorrow. Yeah. Right? And then you're like, oh, right, it's tomorrow now and I've got to get this money, otherwise. You know what I mean? So you find your own ways, whether it's, I don't know, it could be gardening, it could be window cleaning, it could be whatever, it could be, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
that's good.
Whatever way of making money, right, that I've got to do what I've got to do because it's already booked, it works, you know what I mean?
You make it work.
Yeah.
That's determination, that, mate, honestly, definitely. You keep doing it and don't give up.
Yeah, 100%.
And so I wanted to ask you about this Bugzy Malone.
Bugzy Malone.
You met him.
Yeah, so I went to the KSI fight with one of my mates at the time. KSI versus Tommy Fury. Mate, you should have seen how many people I met. It's like Raheem Sterling, Mo Farah, King Batch. I met everyone, right? And I met Bugsy. I knew one of his tunes, my mate Tom, big up. But he was showing me his tune, innit, in 2023, and I was like, I've heard of him, obviously, but I was like, right, it's hard, innit? And I was learning it. He was on my playlist. I kept, ironically, right, and I kept on hearing it. And it was stuck in my head, and I rap it, right? I went to it. I went to the fight, right? I've seen him, and I heard a load of people. It was after Yanni went by in his car, right, and I've heard a load of people going, it's Bugsy. So I ran up to him. And I just started, I was at the back in it, and I started rapping his tune. I don't know why, right, but I just started rapping his tune. He pulled his camera and starts recording me, and then my mate jumps in, got a couple words messed up. I was like, God's sake, right? But nah, it was mad, you know what I mean? Because I actually met him. He put me on his TikTok and everything. I was rah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's some promotion.
Yeah, it is. I know, it was crazy.
It's really good. So, where do you see yourself going? What's your vision for the future?
See what it is, and again, no egotistical way, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but no one can tell me it's not factual, right? In Bolton at the moment, I am the youngest that's doing it, and I've got the most views, right? I've got the most likes. Whether you hate me or you love me, everyone's still tapping in. You know what I'm saying? So you can still not like me, but you're still giving me the views. So keep on, you know what I mean? That's the part. And I'll be honest with you, on this video, you might get a couple people that are like, that don't like me, you know what I mean? But I like that because you're sitting here, right? We're probably 15 minutes in, you've got to this point, so you're still watching me, you know what I'm saying, and you put an extra view in. So it's like, if it stays that way and I keep going down this path, then it's good because I'm still getting myself about every time that I drop, right? More people are knowing my face, more people are knowing what I do. So it's like, keep doing that, and I've still got time, don't forget. So if I'm staying on the right track, God willing, I'll go somewhere with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you will, mate, definitely, because you've got that fire inside you. I can hear it, and I can see it in your eyes that you're dead serious about it, which is a massive plus, honestly. And you're going to get haters along the way.
Yeah, of course,
haters are going to hate, and like you said,
let them.
All publicities.
There you go.
And at the end of the day, you're not being known for the wrong reasons, are you?
No,
you're not out doing bad things. You're just trying to make a better life for yourself and your family, and fair play to you, man, honestly, for doing that. Just keep doing it. Yeah. That's all I can say, man. So who inspired you then along the way?
So obviously, like I said, I met Bugzy and everything, so that kind of gave me a boost. But like, not on the topic of like big artists, right? I'll come down a sec. Obviously, he's still doing his thing, right? But Ashes, North Face, right? He's like an older brother that I've never had, right? And genuinely, I'll show him this, but he's like, he leads me in the right way, you know what I mean? He speaks real rap, and I look up to him in a big way because he does that, and he like keeps me on the right track of like going gym and everything, right? And he still does his music, so in terms of the music, I'm still looking up to him, you know what I mean? But it's one of them. He really does. He's good for me. You know what I mean? He speaks to me on a personal level and tells me that could be better. Obviously, he believes in God heavy, right? Church all the time, doesn't miss a day. So he's like, take them naughty words out, take them. You know what I mean? And I laugh sometimes because it's like, but it's true. You know what I mean? Yeah. But my craft is my craft. You know what I mean? But like inspiration on that side of things, like my dad, again, I'll say it, I've grew up around him, you know what I mean? There's not been one time where he hasn't shared my music, you know what I mean? And I remembered it, I got on stage, my dad's mate's George funeral, rest in peace, and we didn't even do anything, you know what I mean? We were just on the mic, right? And he was like, he found that proud, so I was like, right, okay. And I dropped my first music video. That went popping everywhere, and it was him. Probably 2,000 of them views are probably from him, right? And I owe that to him, right? And since then, every time he's always shared it, right? So it's him. Like, he's given me the boost, you know what I mean? I look up to him genuinely, because if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have done this, you know what I mean? I would have just been a slap bang average person that's probably doing what every kid's doing right now, you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, then, without the music side of things, obviously, my girlfriend, you know what I mean? She keeps me going a lot with it. And she'll criticise me. She won't lie to me. You know what I mean? If she don't like it, then she'll say it's not as good. You know what I mean? And that's good for me. Because if I'm there like saying, yo, this is hard, but then she goes, nah.
You've got to be realistic, you know what I mean? Can't you?
Yeah,
definitely.
That's it.
And that constructive criticism really does help along the way.
It is, yeah. 100%. It's good. And it pushes you.
Big ups to Robbie there in the back for supporting his lad there. Because, you know, a lot of parents, they'll be like, oh, you're wasting your life. Go and get a proper job. Stay in school. Do this, do that. But he believes in you, and you believe in yourself. So that's it. And your missus believes in you. So that's like the Holy Trinity, man.
Got everything, man.
Yeah. Definitely. So, like, what gigs have you performed? Or
I won't even call that a gig, to be honest. I wouldn't, right? But I want to. There was one in Oldham actually that I was supposed to be doing. When was it? In February. But I don't know. The thing with gigs, it's like I've never really. I get nervous sometimes, innit? But then when I'm on stage, and it's like, right, come on, let's do it.
It's happening.
You know what I mean? But it's like each step, right? I'm never going to step back. That's what I think to myself. You know what I mean? I've always got, like, I've never done a podcast before. It's my first podcast. You know what I mean? I've got it written in my notebook at home. 2025 things I want to do. You know what I mean? Podcast was one of them, ticked off. And it's like each time I'm ticking something off. So it's like I'm getting myself known, right? And it's good for me. So with the gigs, when people see it, like, now Oldham, you say you've got people from Oldham, they see it, and then it's like getting known all over the place. That helps you get recognition, helps you bring people in, gigs, whatever. But it's like I'm not really too focused on it. But late this year, I'll probably do.
Yeah, in the later stages, because you're still building yourself as an artist. You're still building your catalogue of tracks, and it does take time. And you'll get to the point where you've got that many tracks that you're like, I can easily smash out a couple of hours gig here or whatever, and start getting paid for it, man. So which studios and producers have you been using? Any set ones, or you got a couple?
So my set one at the moment, I shouted him out on the last one. He keeps getting a lot of shout outs, right? Bradley Boyer. Again, I'll say it again. Top guy, honestly. You can have a laugh with him. He's like your best mate in the studio, but you will not, I promise you, in Manchester, you will not get a better studio than him, or the work he does. He's the best engineer in Manchester, right? When I first started, it was Shamshi. He's still doing his thing, you know what I'm saying? And big respect to him, because he produced my first two. I think, other than the KJ were my first two. When I actually went to a studio, it was him. But yeah, Bradley, he's the guy I'm going to, for sure.
Is that who's done the last couple of tracks?
Yeah, he's done Make It Out, Street Ties, Where I'm From, you know what I mean? It's like, they're the best sounding. They're the best. And he even helps me. Don't get me wrong, no one writes my lyrics, it's me strictly, right? But he'll go, that might sound a bit better, you know what I'm saying? Like, guide me, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't say, like I said, with the school side of things, I won't listen to you if I don't want to do it. But there's certain people that I'm like, right, I'll listen to you. You know what I mean? He's worked with everyone. Morrison, you might know him. Right. He's big. He's worked with Jordan McCann, everything. Quangface, We Want Race, Booter B. More my generation, like up and coming now, or they're doing it now. But he's big, you know what I mean? He's working with good people. Or Nicki Minaj, he worked with her, for example, right? And it's like, I get along with him well, you know what I mean? But again, like I was saying, he still gets the jobs done. So Bradley Boyer. Yinte as well, Yinte with the beats. Get at him on Insta, I think. Yinte Beats. He'll sort you out. Top guy.
So have you got any advice for people like yourself getting into the same kind of thing? Maybe things you've learned along the way and what could help other young aspiring artists?
Right. So if you want to do music, because I'm not tooting my own horn, but a couple of people have said to me, what's this about? Do you like it? Like, you know what I mean? And asking me for advice, but it's like, I'll tell you, if it sounds bad, I'll tell you it sounds bad, you know what I mean? I'm not going to lie, but it's one of them, I'll say, work on the lyrics, work on that, and it might sound better on this beat. And again, I'm no one big, you know what I'm saying? I'm still working, but it helps like that. But what I'd say is, if you're starting out, like, look at me. I started in my mate's bedroom for the first one, just having a little mess about it. That's on 5k views now. Then I went to my kitchen, in my dad's kitchen with a few of my mates, you know what I mean? And then it went to Dollar's studio. Big up Dollar as well. And then it went to Shamshi. Then I did it, you know what I mean? So basically, when you start out, it's not going to be the best, you know what I mean? Your first 10 tracks or whatever, not going to be your most famous if you actually do blow, right? But then, if you're leveling up every time that you're dropping, like that was one of my bars, right? Then you're not going wrong. And like, if you're at my age or younger and you're doing it like that, then props to you, you know what I mean? Because you're doing something productive, you know what I mean? And it's like I said, if you're leveling up every time you drop, you set yourself some goals and you tick them off, that's when you're doing well with yourself, you know what I mean? So I'd say just go for it. If that's what you want to do, you do it, you know what I mean? Don't let anybody hold you back. Let people talk. If they think it's rubbish, let them say that, you know what I mean? Because in reality, your first one's not going to be amazing, is it? And it's one of them. You just got to keep on going. If you want to do it, strive for it.
Yeah, just carry on and don't give up kind of thing.
It.
Yeah, no, that's really inspiring, man. Yeah. Appreciate the words there for other people who are in the struggle and just trying to make a better life for themselves, really. Yeah. And I think the main thing is that you believe in yourself. I know, like you're saying, you don't want to toot your own arm, but honestly you should, because you're doing good things and there's a good message in your lyrics as well. It's not all about negativity, is it?
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? And you've got like a broad range of tracks, and I can only imagine, like, as time goes on, that's just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. So I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on your Spotify.
It's discography, innit? Like when you're building on yourself.
Yeah,
that's what I just want. I just want to fill it all. Like when I go on Google, I just want to be able to scroll endlessly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just want to. That's the main goal, innit? Just to before, obviously, to start making profit more off it, and then you get obviously the obvious goal. You know what I mean? But I want to build on it for now, you know what I mean? So like back to when I was saying about ticking goals off and everything and saying where I want to be, That's where I want to be. I want to be up there. You know what I'm saying? Not no little artist or mediocre. I want to be up there. Like, that's the goal.
I'm sure you will. Just carry on doing it and just keep writing. Yeah. And I can imagine that. I reckon your brain never switches off, does it? Are you always thinking of stuff and listening to beats? And
I'll be honest with you. If you think I'm all about music, I only do music when it comes to the time that I have to drop. So it's like I'm writing, I'd say, very often, right? But it's one of them, like, I was dropping every month when I first started, right? But then I went for every 2 months, and now I think I'm going to be a bit late, either 3 or 4 months, right? But what it is, right, it's going to be top music video, and I mean it, top music video. Obviously, a big up to MTV as well for doing my other ones, but I'm not slating anybody. Everybody does their own work, you know what I mean? But it's going to be a top music video. It sounds good, you know what I mean? The tracks, so I can't wait to get that out there. What was the question again? I've lost it.
No, don't worry about that, man. I can't remember.
What did you say? Can you not remember?
Who would you really, really like to do a track with?
No one. I honestly, no, I don't. There's no one I care to do a track with.
Not to collaborate.
No, I'm not bothered.
So you wouldn't like to feature or?
No, I'm not a feature on no one else's. If we're on a track together, it's KJTHAKID X. You know
what if someone calls for you? So someone pretty big in the scene and are like, yo, we want this kid on our track.
Well,
man.
if it depends who it is, innit? I can't. Again, I'm no one
like
big
H
man.
Or something.
H. He's just down the road, him, innit? I can get another lad from down the road to do the same thing, but it's like, nah, that's Rufus, that, innit? Nah, I'd say, yeah, probably. You know what I mean? For the recognition, I'm not clout chasing or anything, but
yeah. For the promotion and stuff like that. Pick up a few new followers and all that. But you know what? To me, that just shows that you're doing your own thing. You're not trying to be like anyone else. Yeah. You're not trying to like pay your way into it. Because I know like a lot of artists, they'll pay to do these features with people.
Not for me, that.
Yeah. So no, that's good. Hopefully they'll be paying you one day, innit?
Yeah.
To jump on your stuff.
Nah, if H said to me, no, 100 quid for a few, any day, 500, whatever, I'd get it. You know what I mean? Because it's one of them. Again, you're getting your disclosure from the track and everything.
Exactly.
If you're only known as the worst on the chain, then right, your career's written off pretty much, right? But if you're known and people find you good on it, then taking off. You know what I mean? That's what you got to think when you're on a feature. It's more competitive for me. You know what I'm saying? Even when I was writing bars with my boys, and I've got a couple tracks on release from my mates, but just messing about. But it was like, I've got to write the hardest bars now, right? And it was like, no, I need to go again because that don't sound harder. You know what I'm saying? It's always competitive. So if I was on a feature with anyone, it'd be like, I've got to rap the hardest. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one of them. It's like friendly competition in a way.
Any of you like close mates and stuff, are they on the same sort of vibes? Or?
My mate, not many of my mates rap, you know, but like they mess about. Like Bariso, he started messing about with it now.
Because that's usually how it starts. Like one lad's into it, and then for me back in the day, like mixing, bit of DJing and that, it was just like one of our mates who's into it. Yeah. Then I got into it, then another one of us got into it, and a few years down the line, we're all into it. So you might be setting a trend here.
Yeah. Nah, it's good because in my turn, obviously, I'm not with all the MC, so I'm not with all the MC games and whatever. And what everyone's doing in my dad's generation or whatever. I don't know everybody. I know a few people, obviously, but I don't know everybody that's doing it, right?
Yeah.
But in my town, there's not many people doing it, right? In my generation, obviously, you've got a couple, but in Halliwell, you know what it is? It's boring, and I'll start slating, right? I'm not bothered, right? Drill rappers saying, you know what I mean? You've not done it. They're saying that. I don't know if they're saying they've stabbed him or stabbed that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's no, you haven't. You know what I mean? So it's just you're lying to people, right? And I'm never gonna go on camera saying, oh, I waved my gun at him, I've waved it at him. You know what I mean? Because I haven't, right? So what's the point in lying to people? It's one of them, right? And I get along with people, and obviously I'll respond to people that are supporting me, because if I don't, then I'm known as some ignorant, cocky muppet that's just doing music and wants me to share it. What am I getting out of it, even if he doesn't say thank you? You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm the youngest and I'm getting the more views, so if I'm calculating in my head right, I'm going down the right path because it's factual, you know what I mean? And if I keep going like that every year, I can only see myself.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
100%. And you're just being real, aren't you? With your lyrics, you're not, like you say, you're not like making stuff up to appeal to like a certain demographic. You're just being yourself, speaking from the heart.
It's
and
boring.
It's just how you feel, isn't it? In life.
It's boring when they're doing like. Obviously, don't get me wrong. I listen to drill music, right? I've got mates that are doing whatever. I've done. You know what I mean? Not to, but when you're lying to people, I just don't get it. And then people are buzzing off it, going, yeah. It's like, mate, you ain't done it.
And you know what? I mean? Like, even if the ones who are not lying, I don't think it's smart these days.
Nah, it's not.
Because they're just incriminating
I know
themselves,
you're incriminating yourself. Exactly.
Yeah. There's that gang from Manchester, weren't there, in the Manchester Evening News, I think a week or two ago. An OCG there, and pretty well known and that on YouTube. And the guy's like documented bare stuff in his track. Yeah. And now all the crew's been locked up. And the GMP have shared the rap video. Yeah. Saying this video is like partly what's convicted him.
It's one of them,
so
innit?
It's just not smart at all.
If you're really trying to show you're about it, you know what I mean, and you've got problems with people, then you know what I mean, you'll do it another way. Other than music, you're not going to say, I've done this or do that. You know what I mean? Yeah, again, you're incriminating yourself. If you've got an ongoing case, right, and they know, they've got an understanding you do music, right? Go on your music video. I shot him that day. I stabbed him on that park.
Yeah, I've been moving weight.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Exactly.
Yeah, it's mad.
It's one of them, man.
It's proper mad.
Yeah.
I can't get my head around it, but I know it's just a thing, isn't it? People, it's like part of the culture, innit, of drill music.
Don't get me wrong, right? I'm not rapping about dandelions and lilies in a field, right? But because sometimes, right, I'll tell you what I do, right? I'm not gonna. Again, I won't incriminate myself. I'm not that stupid, right? Just to make myself.
Well, you're not a criminal
hard.
Anyway, so
yeah, no, right? But it's just. Like, I don't see the point in lying. If I've got to get my message across to you, or it's a problem outside of music, then you deal with it that way, right? But
exactly.
It's daft to see people coming online and talking about it. It's online facades, you know what I mean? You're hiding behind all this and everything. It's like with people, with me as well. You're hiding behind the screen. If you see me wherever, right, and you're not on the same thing as you were online, and it's like, just stop giving it, you know what I mean? And then they'll go and talk to the mates about it, and then it becomes a tune. It's just one of them. Stop lying.
Yeah. People seem to make big money off like these beefs and stuff, don't they?
And
I know like some people will say, oh, maybe they set it up between them to like get the traction and get the views and the entertainment and stuff. I'm sure there's real beefs, but I reckon some of it is like...
I'd say it's just like, you know what? It's like H said when he did his Central C this, he said, you made millions off image and what was it, imagery and rap capping, right? I made millions off who I am, what I do, you know what I mean, and real rap, right? So it's like, I'd rather do that. And again, I'm not rapping about some sunshine and rainbows, right? Because in my tracks, sometimes, right, there's a lot of stuff, for example, you don't know, but even my dad, you know what I mean? And if I need to get the point across, not to scare anybody, not to think, oh, he's, you know what I mean? I don't need to give that, because if they need to know, then they need to know, you know what I mean? It's like you, it's any normal person. If you're getting pushed to a point, you're gonna go, you know what I mean? Absolutely. And it's like with this one, I'll be honest with you, it's a bit like I'm going at, you know what I mean? Because it was needed, but that sounds the best one that I've ever dropped. And even Tia said it, my girlfriend, she even said it's the best one, best sounding. My producer Bradley, he said it. My mates have said it, you know what I mean? So,
which one's that again?
It's called Step Up.
Step Up.
Yeah, it's coming out soon, man.
Oh, a new release.
Yeah, that's it. Next month, music video as well.
Can you give an insight into what that's about? Roughly, without spoiling.
Right, Detroit beat, top mix, top music video. I ain't got the music video yet. We're shooting it next month. It should be with you like early July-ish. That's why early June-ish. Yeah, that's what I think. But trust me, this one it's gonna be my best. I'm not gonna say it's gonna go off because I don't know yet. Right, but it's definitely gonna be my best, and it's you know what I mean. It's different from what I've done recently. Yeah. It's more angry, I'd say. But
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, I think that sometimes that's where you're like getting stuff off your chest, aren't you?
Yeah.
And it's going to sound mad, some of the views, but it's also like a form of therapy, innit? You're not holding it inside, man. You're letting it out in a form of art.
That's exactly what it is, yeah.
I mean? So
just letting it out. Because, like, when you got problems, right? It's like with this one, you know what I'm saying? I thought, nah, I'm letting loose with it all, right? If you want a problem, let's have it. Your head goes, you know what I mean? And it's like, so with me, I don't do therapy or anything, so it'd be, the pad is my therapy, you know what I'm saying? So I start writing, and I go in the studio, yeah, sounds cool. And then I listen to it, but like, cool. It's on now, innit? You know what I mean? I've wrote about it. I've gave it back. I don't really state a lot of names, right? Okay. But it's like I make it out, right? And I'm not gonna drop names or anything, right? But like from Manchester and then a couple from close to mine, Get Rich or Die Trying, right? 2 people have used that bar, and it's like I've never robbed anyone's bars, you know what I mean? It's like become self-made. That's what I'm doing, right? And when I seen 2 people using my exact same words, placing it exactly
after you,
after I screen, I was being a bit petty with it, right? He dropped it, and then I screen recorded it, and then I was like, right, is this what people are doing now? Yeah, you know what I mean? Stirring it up a bit, and then it's like I just say to them, it gets on the nerves a lot, and it does seem egotistical, I'll be honest, but like, you're not doing the same views as me. Shush, sit there. You know what I mean? It's like it's a bit nasty sometimes, but it gets like that because I don't know. You feel like entitled to have to go back at them. You know what I mean? And I won't give them. I'm not gonna give them the recognition for what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like it wouldn't make sense to you. You get me? But I'll rap about it. I'm not gonna name drop in my bars or on here. You know what I'm saying? But I'll rap about it so that they know about it. You get me? It's one of them.
Yeah. Sometimes I think it can be like that Streisand effect as well. Yeah. So it's like they're not really known and they're stealing your stuff, but then you make a diss about them, and if you did mention them, you're just driving traffic to them.
Yeah, I don't really do. I don't know. I don't see it with diss tracks, me, because you're putting more people onto their plate, you get me? So why am I going to do that? But I'll say, I'll rap what I'm feeling and why, because this person's made me feel like that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, it started off my first tune, it's just going at them and whatever, you know what I'm saying? That was the first line. But then as it progresses, it gets better, the wordplay, everything with it. And it's like, you can't come at me now, you know what I'm saying? It's like one of them. I'm not gonna keep it all in the music, because again, we're all humans, you know what I mean? And I don't like when people, they're on the phones all the time giving talk. It just doesn't make sense. Half of the time it's because they're mad that I'm doing what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? People can't leave whatever they've got in the past, right? They just think I'm the same person, I haven't moved on. Because I'll be honest, about a year ago I was just dossing about in town, you know what I mean? And then like recent 2 months or whatever, obviously I've nearly been with my girlfriend for nearly a year now, but it's like I've just been chilling with her more, chilling with family more, writing bars, getting money to provide for the music, to go out, just do normal stuff. Been going to the gym with my cousin, staying on the right track, you know what I mean? And it's like, but there's still that side to people. Just because I'm on the right track don't mean, age ain't a thing when it comes to me, you know what I mean? Don't think you can try to do all that or you can get away with, you know what I mean? It don't work like that. Because if I see someone that's taught mad to me, then it's on, you know what I mean?
Have you had any trolls like in any comments or videos, or just idiots that maybe know you and just want to be dicks?
Like? You've got, it's like, and I don't sometimes I reply in it, right? But it's rare, right? It was like this kid said, watch when I seen him, right? I started laughing at him. I'm like, stop giving it, right, on TikTok, Snapchat, right? And it's more my generation, I understand it, right? But when you know, in real life, you're not about that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying I'm a full gang member and I run the Bloods and the Crips, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm not, but I can hold my own, right? And I'm not gonna, you won't find nothing of me running off, getting pressured, nothing like that. It's not who I am, right? So when people talk online, it's like, and they're not on the same thing in real life, it's like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? It's just giving big up behind the screen. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, it's gaining me more traction. If you want to listen to my stuff and then comment something daft, sweet. You're just giving me an extra view, and you know what I mean? And then when you share it to your boys trying to say it to Mick, that's another view. I don't care about it. It's one of them, you know what I mean? Smart. Because there's more people that like me and respect what I do than there is that hate me. And I like it, again, because it's getting me views, so keep doing it. You get me?
Yeah. That's always the way it is. It's like with these podcasts and stuff. I remember Sean Atwood, guy who's got a big podcast in the UK, and back in the early days he was doing it with his best friend Wildman, the big guy who was in America with. He's kind of right hand man. And when Sean started dropping the podcasts, he'd get a few hate comments here and that, and Wildman was like, I want to track him down, I want to find him, like, to every little negative comment, man. But you realise over time that they don't matter. Because you might have one negative comment or one troll of just someone who knows you and wants to be a dick, but you'll get 10, 20, 100 positive ones.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's
There's always gonna be more people that are digging your stuff and giving you positive vibes than the negative ones. So I think it's good to just ignore them. They're irrelevant, aren't they?
I'd say 9 times out of 10, and it's people I know, not my mates or people I've ever been mates with, but they know me and they've heard of me, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, when I see these people, it gives me a buzz, you know what I mean, when they're not on what they're on online, and it's like, stop. I just want it to all stop, right? If you don't like me, then cool, right? But stay in your own lane and do whatever you're doing. It's like, I'm doing my thing, you know what I mean? I want a peaceful life, and I bet everyone else does, you know what I mean? But there's always, each day you're going to face another problem. That's how it is, right? You just got to crack on with it. And if you don't like me, I'm not bothered, right? But you do your thing, right? I don't mind if you're leaving the odd comment here, but when you're saying some madness online, make sure you're on it in real life. And if you're not saying that, but you still don't like me, you're still trying to take the mick, then stay over there. I don't want nothing to do with you. I'm doing my thing, you do your thing. You get me? It's just mutual respect, right? I don't care, even if you don't like me or you don't like what I'm about or do, just stay in your lane. You know what I mean? I'm not bothering you, so why bother me? It's just one of them, innit? Yeah.
Well, like, success is the best form of revenge, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, like, all these haters and stuff, you'll find that even some of them, as the years go on and you progress and start getting more known and bigger, they're going to be like, oh, it was wrong about you, bro. And they'll want to be your best mates then. I've seen it all happen, honestly.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I don't know. You see, with me, I don't believe, like, with my mates, it's different from, let's say, my girlfriend and second chances or whatever you want to call it, all right? If you've got a mate, right, and he's done something wrong to you, or he's properly snaked you and he's gone chilling with someone that you don't like or whatever, then it's different, you know what I mean? So then how you could be in a relationship, for example. So I'm talking about second chances with mates. I don't do any of that, you know what I mean? If you're trying to take the mick once, right, then I'll cut you off, right? I've got a small circle, right? And obviously I'm associates with people, but I'm not mate. Not many people can call me the mate, you know what I mean? It's like Bree, so he's my main guy, you know what I'm saying? Rafi as well. It's like, I keep it small. There's obviously more lads than that, but I can't be through, right? So it's like, when you keep your circle small and you've known these people, you open up to them, you both know each other's parents. I'm not saying like ringing, calling each other every night, but you know what I mean? You both met each other's parents, you've got to go to the houses, you know what I'm saying? And you've got each other's backs like that. It's like, I don't need 50 people to come and act rowdy with me if you've got 2 people that are down for you and are actually, you know what I mean? It's one of them.
Yeah. Definitely. And that'll go a long way, won't it? Like when you progress and you start attending like events and gigs,
because they're staying with me, you know what I mean? No one fake can come say, yeah, you was my boy back in. No, it's not that. You know what I'm saying? Go that way. But then when I know, you can't pull the wool over my eyes. If you fake, I know you fake in a bit, right? But it's like again, Brees or Rafi, Habib, all my main mates, right? It's like they've stayed with me from the start since I started doing this, right? Some people, don't get me wrong, they've came and gone, but they've stayed, you know what I'm saying? So when, God willing again, if I do make it, right, which hopefully I will, then they're coming with me, you know what I mean? Everything I'm doing, like studio, I bring them to that, right? And my girlfriend, I think, you missed one, ain't you? Yeah, it's like, you don't miss many, and it's the people that I want with me, the real people that I want around me, I bring them with me everywhere that I'm about to go, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's one of them. If you're real and I know you've been with me from the start, you're coming with me. But if not, and you're trying to act a facade where you're my mate, it's in a bit again.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, your dad as well, man. I can see him staying with you till right 100%. To the top there. So outside of the music then, what other activities do you like to do to pass time?
So obviously yesterday I was having a kick about one bounce on Rushton Park. So I don't usually do that. I stopped playing football like 2 years ago. I started playing football when I was about 6. Yeah. When I was about 6 when I started playing football, and I stopped when I was like 12. Right. And I don't know, I just fell out of love for it. I was going down a bad road at the time, you know what I mean? Becoming a teenager, going meet with these people, they're going down the wrong path, they're older people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're getting guided down that wrong path. Obviously now I've got my head on my shoulders, so I know where to go and know what to do. If it's reasonable, I'll do it. If it's not and I know it's daft, I'm not, right? So it's like, but I made a lot of mistakes coming into my teenage years, I think. And I'm still young, but coming into it fully, I was making mistakes. So it was like, it weren't too good, if to put it that way. But obviously, like I said, I was doing football and I just stopped. But then boxing, I started doing that a bit when I was younger as well, like a few years ago. But I've always loved fighting. You know what I mean? Right. It's like, it's one thing about me. I don't know. I just get a buzz off fighting. It's like, I don't know. And then like at the gym, whenever I'm just on the bag or whatever, it's like, yeah, you know what I mean. I've got a fight in July as well on B Crown, right?
No way.
Yeah, I'm fighting in July.
Yeah, so you mean like fighting as in the ring, not just like scrapping in the streets?
I don't condone that. Yeah, she'll be fighting in July, but it's like, I love it. I like getting hit as well. It's like,
really,
yeah, adrenaline. It just runs through. You know what I mean? I'm not scared to lose neither. That's a good thing about it. Because if I'm walking into that like paranoid, like, oh no, he's gonna do me, because he looks on steads and yoked up and that, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's not all about how big you are, how tall you are. It's because his jab reaches more than mine. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? When I'm in that ring, I've got it's like a stigma that stays with me in my mind. I've got to win this, right? But even if it's not a loss, if it's a lesson, you know what I mean? So if it's my first fight, it's my first proper fight, obviously discarding all the other little ones, right? But stepping into a ring, everyone credits it, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not having it with him on the car park. I'm in the ring with him, you know what I mean? I'm touching his gloves and then we're moving about and we're having it in a proper ring, you know what I mean?
And you're showing respect afterwards as well, shake hands.
That's it. But it's one of them, for me and who I am, I'm not losing it, you know what I mean? I can't. Imagine I'm bringing my girlfriend, I'm bringing my dad, right? And it's cliche, right? You don't want to lose in front of these people, but no, you can't. Yeah. You know what I mean? You've got to.
It's funny you should say that as well, because like the first guest, the very first podcast, my mate Gaz, producer, he did a little bit of boxing when he was younger, and he said that like he won his fights and stuff. He only had a couple, but he said every time he got into the ring, he'd literally feel like so nervous and feeling sick and all that. But then this feeling when that bell goes, this feeling had come over him. My mum and dad's there, my little sister, they're all watching me, and it just wins. Yeah. So even the best of fighters get nervous and a bit thingy, but then it's once that bell goes.
It's like Mike Tyson, what did he say? He said, when I was walking out, he said I was nervous. This man would beat me. When I was getting closer and closer in the ring, I'm going to beat him. You know what I mean? All the nerves just dropped. The adrenaline kicked in. He was like, he's sick. I've got a frame of Mike Tyson. I look up to him when it comes to boxing. You know what I mean? I started watching, what's it called now? Big George, what's it called? Yeah, George Foreman, that's it, right? I started watching that on Netflix, right? And it's like, it's similar to Mike Tyson's story where he started. He weren't the best when he started. When he cussed him out, started training him and everything, and he got better. And I'm not one of them, I won't binge 3 Rocky movies before I'm gonna, you know what I mean, before I'll have the fight. But it's like, it's inspirational, genuinely, when you look at it from that point of view. And it's good, man.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think that translates over to your drive as well for the music as well. Yeah. It's like, I won't be beaten, I'm doing this, I'm just gonna keep smashing it. And
that's it.
Yeah. So you got a lot of fights planned, or just?
I want to do this one. Obviously, like I said, I like fighting. You know what I mean? Whether it's in the ring, right? But like, I enjoy it. So hopefully, after this first one, I can go on to if I enjoy it, and I'll go and do another one. If I don't, it's like yeah. But it's one of them, innit? Like the training and like. You just love it. I love it, right? Because it's like you're training, you're into this routine. You're not sat at home eating shit all day. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I enjoy it when I know that I'm doing something productive with my life, and I can see that I'm doing something productive with my life. So, for example, if I've gone to the gym for a month, right, and I wanted to lose some, let's say, some weight or whatever, right? I weighed myself, say I was 70, and I dropped to 65. It's like, wow, I've actually done something. You know what I'm saying? So when I say that, I mean like seeing like actually what I've done with it, you know what I'm saying? So like if I go on the bags for the first time for that I'm training, and I'm a bit rusty, my jab ain't as sharp or whatever, my hook ain't as hard, and then by the end of the camp or whatever you want to call it, my hook's sharp as whatever, my jab's sharp as whatever, my movement's sick, then it's good, innit? So it's like me doing something good with my life, you know what I'm saying? Not just dossing about and doing whatever. That's what.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, big ups to you, man. But I'd say, like, as someone a bit older, just be careful with the boxing as you get older, because you hear from a lot of fighters and stuff. They said that they wish they never got into it, or some can develop, like, you know, brain damage and all them knocks to the head over so many years. And I think you're a really smart, intelligent lad, and you've definitely got something with the music. So I'd like to see you carry on that path.
No, but
not have too many
win
fights.
Though, right?
Yeah, no, you'll win. Of course you will. I know. But I suppose, like, with fighting and boxing and stuff,
I'm gonna contradict myself.
The best fighters, like, sometimes end up getting beat, you know, and stuff like that.
Seeing it, Chris Eubank, he what did he do? Put that man in a wheelchair for life. And it was like, wow, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's what I mean. Anything could happen and stuff. And I'm sure your dad doesn't want to see, you know.
Nothing will happen. Don't worry.
It depends on if he's doing as he's told.
I'll win.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Nah, you will, man. You're winning at the music.
Yeah.
So you're already winning, and you've got a supportive family.
Yeah.
And, you know, what more can you ask
That's
for?
it,
Like
man.
I say, some people who've got visions and passions are not getting support by the family like you're getting, man. So half the battle is won, and now the other half is you just staying consistent and keep pumping the tunes out, keep writing, man.
I will do, man.
Definitely. So, like, where can people usually find, like, your stuff?
Everything. Name it, I'm on it, right? So Instagram, official.KJTHAKID. TikTok, official.KJTHAKID. Spotify, KJTHAKID. Deezer, KJTHAKID. SoundCloud, KJTHAKID. Everything, you know what I mean? I'm
all
on everything,
KJ the Kid.
Yeah,
so that's one word, KJ. THA.
Some people pronounce it KJ that kid, right? If I call myself KJTHAKID, right? Someone's already got that name for one, I think, right? And I don't know. It don't look
not doing
right.
what you're doing.
Yeah,
obviously.
I had to swazz it up a bit, right? So it's my name now. I ain't gonna change my name to something else, right? Because I'm already deep into it. All right. So KJ the Kid. It's not KJ that kid, right? You know what I mean? So KJTHAKID. Go find me.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm glad you just brought that up as well, because I was thinking of that as a question earlier, thinking, I wonder, will he change his name, you know, when he's older, or he's just going to stay real to KJ the Kid?
It's like,
because even when you're not a kid, it's still you, innit? It's still
the kid.
The journey.
I started it when I was a kid, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I started rapping because of what happened when I was a kid. See, look at my first one, that was storytelling, right? All the storytelling came from when I was a kid, you know what I mean? So it was like, KJ, my initial, KLJ, but KJ, right? And I added that. So my initials and then the kid. I was a kid at the time, still am, right? But then I was rapping about when I was a kid. So I just thought interpreting it back into my name, it's like, it sounds right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think I'll ever regret it, because it's like, look where I started. And again, humble beginnings, man. Because if I never dropped that first track and was writing about how I was when I was young, I wouldn't be, let's say, when I'm in 10 years and if I'm doing another one of these, I can say I wouldn't be here right now if I didn't call myself that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Your journey started with that name, didn't it? From, like you said, from being a kid. So
100%.
It's what people are going to know you by. And I think sometimes it does artists damage, you know, like changing the name halfway into the journey. Or, I mean, some artists maybe want to do it because they take a different path or a different genre of music. So they're like, oh, how can I separate that from my old me and then put it into this new one? But I can see you staying true to your own.
That's it, man.
Beliefs
myself.
And keeping it going, man.
That's it.
Definitely. The one thing I have noticed is, like, without disclosing your age, how different you are from other lads around your age, you know, and what's important to them. And, you know, I'm sure most lads will be playing COD or FIFA or, you know, and that's their life. They go to school, they play the games. And they're just not really thinking about the future. A lot of them aren't even bothered about their education or what they're going to do when they grow up. They're just living in the moment. Yeah. So I can definitely see that, you know. And why do you think that is?
So obviously, I'm not going to go fully into my childhood or anything, but when I was younger, it weren't the best, you know what I mean? From both sides. And it was like, I've had to like I said, I'm not going to get too into it, but I'm coming up around a lot of bad rubbish going on in my life, right? So then I'd resort to certain things, and then when I got to about 7, I started writing bars, you know what I mean? So, like, again, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I think that I'm advanced my age and doing stuff that someone maybe older would be doing is because of what I've witnessed or been doing as a kid or what I've been around, you know what I mean? So if I didn't have that, all the stress, all the trauma, whatever, then I wouldn't be who I am today, you know what I'm saying? So I'm happy now that I've had that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, with people my age, and I'm not slating them, you know what I mean? If you want to go to school, you do that. It's like, again, it's one of them, stay in your own lane. I'm not bothering you, you don't bother me. It's like, and I respect everyone that's doing that, right? Because it's hard work, you know what I mean? Getting up at 8 in the morning. I'd rather sleep till 2, if I'm being honest with you, right? But it's like, I don't know, it's just, that's never been for me. I'm not average, you know what I mean? I'm doing stuff that's obscure to what the normal kid my age would be doing, let's say. So it's like, with the music side of things, again, like from my childhood, I've had to come up around stuff going on, so I'd hear it, and then it'd be something that I'd take along with me, you know what I mean? And then I must have had about 30 counsellors, right, through primary, secondary, whatever. So like when they're speaking to you, I'll be honest, I never really used to pick up off it. So it'd be like, I'd learn and get smarter of what they're actually here for, you know what I'm saying, and not actually listen. It's like, I use the same analogy as I'd used 3 years ago when I was at CAMS, was it? Yeah. It was like, I can have as many therapists or counsellors as I want, right? If I genuinely get along with you, right, I'll take in what you're saying, right? It's like, you've got a fridge, for example, right, and then you've got a plate here, okay? The fridge has had every food that you could imagine, right? It's providing all of your favourite foods, right? But your diet can only take so much, right? So you'll only take a couple things from that fridge, right? And that's exactly what it's like with a counsellor or a therapist. I'm not going to listen to every single word you're saying, but if I like what you're saying and I think it could genuinely help me, then I'll take it into action, you know what I mean? And I'll actually listen to you. But other than that, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, you've got to be advanced. If you're not average, right, then you're different from the kids your age, right? If you're not in school, then again, you're different from the kids your age. It doesn't take me, for example, or what I'm doing to be different from the kid my age, but I'd say having goals for yourself, you know what I mean? Knowing where you're going, because I've said it to my dad, you know what I mean, and I'm keeping it real with everybody that's watching. If I'm not going somewhere and I'm sitting on a couple 1,000 views by, let's say, 19, 20, I'm not going to wait till I'm in my 40s off. And big respect to everybody that's doing that, you know what I mean? This is just me. I'm not going to wait till I would ever to, like, oh, I'm not going anywhere and pack it in. Because then what? I've wasted all my life, you know what I'm saying? I'll just go and get a trade. I don't want to do my GCSEs or whatever, you know what I mean? It's not for me. The school system is not for me. I don't need no GCSEs to be able to go and walk on a site and go, are you hiring, mate? It's just word of mouth, you know what I mean? The more people, you know, the higher chance you've got a job. And it's like, obviously, I'm not getting a slap bang average job. I want something that's providing for me for whatever I've got then. But it's like, you don't need no GCSEs for that. You don't need English, maths and whatever. You know what I mean? I don't like it. Like I said, I don't like the system. So that's different about me. I don't go along with the system too. I'm doing music. That may be different from the average kid. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, right? But it's like mainly having goals, knowing what I want to do, having a set mind of where I'm going in life, right? And yeah.
And I know, and I can tell from speaking to you that you're realistic as well. Like you're just saying, if you get to a certain age, maybe your 20s, and you think, yeah, it's good, but I'm not really getting the outcome that I fought for and stuff like that. You've got the drive and the vision. You'll just go and master another trade or another craft easily. Yeah. But you know what? I don't think you'll have to, because you're dedicated from a young age and you're putting your all into it. Yeah. And it's not even that, because some people do that and they're trash. Not to slate anyone, but there's people out there, and artists, producers, rappers, whatever, and they're not really going anywhere. Yeah. But with your stuff, from such a young age, like I say, that tone and just the flows and just everything about how it sounds, it's as good as the stuff that you're hearing out there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And you're only just going to keep getting better and better. That's it. I'm really looking forward to seeing the progression and the journey, and getting you back on here someday to catch up about it. Yeah. So is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to? And
in what sense? There's a lot of people that I could say thank you to.
Yeah, well, I know you mentioned some, like your supportive friends and people who've helped you along the way, but I suppose like with podcasts, it's sometimes after the fact you think, oh, I forgot to mention this, or I forgot to say that.
I'll say
or,
the basics again. So producers wise, probably Bradley, beats, Yinty, obviously my family, my girlfriend, my nan, my dad, my mum's side as well. It's like all come together to support me, you know what I mean? Ash Hayes again, he's got me on the right track. It's like everybody comes together. In my life, like the way you have yours set out, you've got people helping you that sometimes they don't even know that they're helping you, and you're like, wow, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And it helps to know that, because it's like then you surround yourself with these people that you know are helping you. So it's like with the shirt, it's just, again, big ups to all my course mates, family, to you, and big ups to you as well for the podcast.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Definitely your dad as well.
Yeah, my dad.
Without him, you wouldn't be here. And
yeah,
and he's had the faith with me early on as well to jump on this show.
Yeah.
So big respect to everyone who's gave me a chance as well, because it's like trying to get a job without any experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, got this podcast going, but no one wants to come on because you haven't done any yet. And so it's a massive thing for the people that support you and believe in you along the way.
100%, man.
Definitely. So when you find a beat online that you want to use for one of your tracks, how do you go about actually being able to use that without getting any strikes? Yeah.
Right. So in the bio, they'll have it where the website's there. Right. It's as simple as literally, you add your bank to it, you send them what's usually 30 quid, 50 quid. Or if you're some idiot, they're charging daft prices. You know what I mean? Nobody goes to you. All right. But like, yeah, say 30, 50 quid, and you just send it to the account, you lease. All right. And then you've got it. You're sweet, you know what I mean? You don't have to pay after it gets a certain amount or whatever. It's just your money now because you bought the beat. You know
so when you upload that, do you get do you have to prove something to like YouTube or whatever?
YouTube, no. YouTube, that's sweet.
Or like
but Spotify, like when it comes to distribution and everything, that's when it gets a bit. You got
tricky.
Yeah. Because if you can get done over massively in that sort of game, you get sued, everything, it's bad, so you got to be careful.
If your track blows up but then it's someone else's music, are you at risk of losing?
You get taken down like that,
right? Okay.
And you can't liaise with them after saying, oh come on, I'll chuck you a bit extra. No.
So all these tracks that you're on, so like on your Spotify, you've got an agreement.
Yeah, they're my yeah. Not my, I don't own them, but it's like Yinty, it's like one of them, and it's not his full-time job. He's just like, a nice one for the beats and a bit. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pay as you go.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
But obviously, if it got to like 1 million views, then I'd understand and go like, come on, mate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But I'm sure as time goes on, you'll find other producers to work with.
Yeah, 100%.
And you might even have a dedicated producer for a bit that maybe makes you an album, or you can work with them in the studio. And that's another good thing I was going to say that I picked up on before. As an artist, you're willing to listen for those little fine-tuning bits and stuff. Because I've worked with people before in the studio. I'm trying to make songs and stuff. I'm not outing anyone, just to be nice, but it can be really frustrating because I'll have a vision for a track and they're performing and I'll hear that they've just done a little bit that just doesn't sound as good as the other bits, and then we'll do a few takes and that. And then I've kind of said to artists before, one of my good friends in the studio, can you not just do that end bit a little bit like this, or pronounce this word a little bit different, because I think it'll work better, because I can hear it as a producer.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you get a bit arsey, like, I'll tell you what, you do it then. Take the headphones off, and it's like, no, but if this is why we don't get the results, this is why we don't get the results that we want and the finished tracks, because they're not willing to listen to the producers who's got the vision.
That's what I mean.
Not just the vision, but they can, obviously the artist's got the vision, but they know how it should sound on a track. So
that's what
if you're willing to like grow with them and listen to them, I mean, they might not know what they're on about, but if they do, then...
A few that, one of the ones I did before, like, he's got it in a couple of them. You'll probably hear it going back from past Make It Out, past where I'm from. Every tune, there was always one problem, like, it could be, you know what I mean, or a little fault with a mic or whatever, or it could be me messing words, or it could be the engineer that's dragged that a bit too long, you know what I mean?
Oh, right.
But with Bradley, it's like, I can't credit him enough, you know what I mean? Again, he's a sound guy to work with. You can have a laugh with him, but at the same time, he'll get his job done. And it's like, he don't mess it up or anything. If he thinks that'll sound better, then he'll say, no, you need to change that and so it's sounding better. I'm like, yeah, You know what I mean? Yes, sir.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
nah, listen to me. It's like, again, he's worked with top people, so how can I fault someone that's doing that? You know what I mean?
And honestly, that's a really good strength for you to have, because, like I was saying, you're not being arrogant about it and saying, nah, I know better. That's what I've wrote, so that's how it's staying. And I think that's right. It's right. It's right. And because you can't grow like that.
No,
do you know what I mean? It's same on my podcasts and stuff.
Yeah.
Other friends who are content creators will be like, oh, I think you should try this a bit different, or do that, or whatever. And you grow from it. You help each other along the way. So, yeah, honestly, it's been really good to have you on, man.
That's it, man.
I'm honoured to have KJ the Kid's first podcast interview here on IE Media over on YouTube, and also audio is available on all streaming platforms, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, just to mention a few. If you are listening on one of those apps, you can get the video version on YouTube. And equally, if you listen on YouTube and you prefer to listen to podcasts as I do while I'm working, then check the link tree. You'll find all the links and everything. So, yeah, big up KJ the Kids, man.
One more thing, yeah. Step Up. Remember that coming out soon.
Step Up.
Plug it, yeah.
So I will update the links and everything as your new track comes out, and I'll try and give it a little share as well on the socials. Yeah, guys, honestly, check this lad's music out. You'll find all the links in the description. We aren't disclosing his age, but he doesn't sound young. He's got the voice, so keep smashing it, man. Keep writing those lyrics. Yeah, man. Right, IE Media, episode 25, guys. Thanks for tuning in once again. Thanks for all your support, and to the new subscribers out there on YouTube over the last few weeks. Big special thanks to you guys as well. Just make sure that you hit that bell so you do get notified when there's new uploads, because I'm hearing off some subscribers that they're not even getting notified because YouTube decided to change the whole thing years ago with the whole bell thing, and yeah, it's hard work. So yeah, thanks again, guys. Peace out.